Alrighty guys, welcome back to FloRc. I'm Kobe, and today it's a Tuesday and Thursdays I post new videos, so I got a new video for you today. So what are we gonna learn today, guys? I caved. I finally caved. I said that I wasn't gonna do it, but now we're gonna do it. So yeah, so today we're going to learn rolling Harriers. Strap in, buckle up, do whatever you need to do, but you're going to need to sit down for this one, alright? You're going to need to really just sit down and listen. Because this is like your gateway drug to, like, freestyle and 3D. This is like the, okay, I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, so let's kind of just let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, so rolling Harrier, what is it? So a Harrier is basically something that you do in high alpha. So a basic Harrier is this, right? It's where the wings are producing no lift, and basically you're flying under the power of your motor, right? So if we want to add an element to that, we can go inverted, okay? And everything is really simple, but we're still not flying with the wings. But now we're going to add this element into it, rolling, okay? So this is very complicated. It may look really simple, but if you've ever tried it, it's very complicated, okay? So what you need, the prerequisites to try this, is you need to be very proficient, I can't speak English, at 4-point rolls, okay? And then you also need to be proficient at slow rolls. Some slow rolls. Alright? So those are basically your prerequisites, and then you also need to know how to do a solid Harrier. Okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break it up. We're gonna break up the rolling Harrier because there's so many aspects to it. So many aspects, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to break it up into 3 categories. We're going to break it into the power, the elevator, and the rudder, okay? And the power right here, this is going to be one of your most important things right here. And with power, we're also going to talk about how much of the rudder and the elevator we're going to use. So let's get into that, okay? So the power. The power all depends on the airplane that you're flying, but it shouldn't be that much, okay? Because the more power that you add, so if we're just doing a regular rolling Harrier, right? Then we add more power, then we're going to start to roll faster, and then we're going to get into rifle rolls, which is not good, okay? If we add more power, okay? So we don't want to do that. So everything is going to be very simple. Okay, we're going to just kind of keep it stationary. I'm one of the people that don't pulse their throttles because it's really annoying and it doesn't really sound good. Some people pulse their throttles because it gives them extra airflow over their surfaces, but I don't really believe it. So yeah, let's try it. So this is what your power should look like, okay? I'm doing weird turnarounds right now. So your power should just be kind of stable, right? It shouldn't be like this, right? It shouldn't look like this if you're looking at my right, or my left stick, actually. I'm so stupid. So I think it should be kind of where it needs to be in order for your plane to kind of get nice and balanced and stable. Alright, so that's where your power needs to be. And if you notice in these rolling Harriers, This is probably the #1 mistake that I see every single time that somebody says, "Hey man, I'm working on rolling Harriers. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong?" Okay? And it's this. It's too much. It's too much everything. It's too much. It's too much, okay? The rolling Harrier is about finesse and everything just being correct and your stir being correct, okay? Your airplane is like a car. You can't upset your car in a turn or else it's going to get all out of whack and it's going to spin. Okay, now we're getting into cars. Whatever. Anyway, so we need to balance the airplane. The airplane needs to settle into the rolling Harrier. It needs to be nice and just balanced all around, okay? I'm going to use that word a lot, balanced, because it's so important, okay? Because we're going to upset the plane. The plane's going to get upset if we use these big surfaces and use it all the way up and down and just, it's going to get upset. So we just need to have very, very small stick movements, okay? And right there, your rolling Harriers are going to look 100 times better. Right from there. Just super little stick movements, okay? That is the key to a successful rolling Harrier, okay? That is the key. So, now that you've kind of set your Harrier and you've kind of started to do kind of this, okay? What we're going to talk about is now your elevator. Okay, so here we go. Sorry, a mosquito just keeps biting me. So how I learned the rolling Harrier was just doing it one at a time. So this is a rolling Harrier without the rudder. It doesn't look as good, okay? But it's going to teach you. It's going to teach you your elevator. It's going to teach you your elevator and what orientations you're going to need to put what elevator at, okay? Because once we start putting in the rudder, it's going to get a whole lot more complicated, okay? So once you've mastered this, okay, just elevator, okay, we're going to switch over to just rudder, okay? Just rudder, right? Okay, good. So once you've mastered the two separately, completely separately, okay, and your throttle's looking good, you're not making too many mistakes, okay, then we can start to put everything together, but we're going to do it in slow motion, alright? So if you have a sim, then you can kind of go over here to simulation, physics, custom, and then we can drop it down, okay? And then that's when you're going to want to start to put everything together. And then once you're comfortable at that speed, you start moving it up until you're at 100 and you're XFC 2021 champion. Alright? So, yeah. Right? So I'm going to tell you about the mistakes that I see. I've been in the hobby for 10 years, okay? I started flying 3D around 7 years ago. So, I've done everything in the book, everything wrong, okay? I know exactly what's wrong when I see it, and because I've been there and I've done it. So, the #1 mistake I told you was too much sauce, too much power, or too much everything, right? Okay? It's going to make your rolling Harrier look really bad. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of slow it down and put nice, easy rudder and elevator movements and throttle modulations for it to be nice and balanced, right? Okay, so once we're good with that, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I see all these amazing pilots rolling to the left and then and then they're gonna roll to the right, and like, oh my goodness, like, I want to do that. Do not rush. Do not rush. Okay, my dogs are going absolutely crazy. I'm sorry. But do not rush in changing directions of your roll. Please. 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 Because there's... Okay. There's so many people that I see that just do rolling Harriers, and they'll look okay, and they can do them both directions. But the thing about the rolling Harrier is that it's not muscle memory, okay? When you want to learn how to do a proper rolling Harrier, you're going to need to understand how it works. You need to have to understand the fundamentals on why it is able to do this. Okay? Because if you just memorize muscle memory, then when you get in trouble, you're not going to say, oh no, like, I know how to fix this because I understand if I do this at this orientation, this is going to help it. Instead, your muscle memory is going to kick over, and it's just going to continue to do that, and then your brand new airplane is going to go into the ground, and you're not going to be happy, okay? So you need to understand how the rolling Harrier works, and you need to understand what everything does at every orientation, and you need to be able to fix that. In order to figure out if you're just doing it by muscle memory or if you're doing it by understanding and doing it by eye, you're going to be able to roll to one direction, and you're going to be able to... If I hit this grass one more time, guys, I'm gonna freak out. Okay, so you should be able to roll in a straight line, okay? A nice straight line, because when you start off, this is what your rolling Harriers are going to look like, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. Let's just do it a little higher, okay? Yes. They're going to look like this. They're going to be going around in the opposite way of which you're rolling, okay? So, if you understand a rolling Harrier, you're going to be able to roll straight. You're going to be able to roll normally to that direction, and then you're also going to be able to roll in the other direction, okay? Because in order to do that, you're going to need to understand, right? You're going to need to understand that if you delay your movements, that if you delay them, then you're going to go in the same direction as your roll. If you're early, you're going to go the other way, and, you know. So that is one way that you can figure out if you understand. So this has been a kind of a long video. I talked a lot, but I think I got my message out there, because I am all about learning and teaching, but I'm about you guys understanding the behind the scenes of each maneuver, and really how to see how people and top pilots do them, okay? I don't want to teach you in a way that it's like, okay, you learn it, but you don't understand it, right? You don't understand the concept. So I like teaching it this way because it makes you a better pilot, and it makes you understand the rolling Harrier, okay? So, yeah. That's it. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this really long RealFlight tutorial, but I hope you guys learned something. And you guys, this maneuver does not come overnight. You need to practice hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to perfect this maneuver, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for another video on Thursday.